Hello, I'm Brent, and welcome to the very first episode of Solo TV. Today, we have an amazing interview with Hans Koning, who is the chairman of DigiByte. We're also going to be looking at market updates and news, and we're going to be busting some crypto myths, so make sure to stay tuned for that. But first, let's look at the news and the market updates from the last 2 weeks. Analyst predicts Bitcoin bull run after hash ribbon buy signal goes off. The last time this happened was in April, and Bitcoin then soared to $10,400. Japan is set to appoint Ryozo Himino as the head of the Financial Services Agency, FSA. Himino is pro-crypto and once called Facebook's Libra, an alarm bell for regulators to see the issues they need to face. The Bank of England said it is looking into the possibility of issuing a digital currency. The country is not part of the Eurozone, meaning it could develop the currency before other European nations. Ethereum users continue to face high transaction fees. Miners have collected over 2,500 Ether a day in transaction fees for the past month. Short-term solutions have failed to make much of a difference. As crypto becomes more widespread, companies are looking to hire more lawyers with crypto knowledge. Crypto exchange Kraken told Bloomberg that its legal team will double in size next year. This video is proudly brought to you by Sologenic. Sologenic is merging traditional financial markets with crypto assets. And now, it's time for the segment that we've all been waiting for, our interview with Hans Koning, the chairman of DigiByte. DigiByte is a blockchain that can be used for digital assets, smart contracts, decentralized applications, and secure authentication. DigiByte the blockchain hosts DigiByte the digital currency, and its ticker symbol is DGB. All right, so we're here with our interview with the chair of DigiByte, Hans Koning. Hans, thank you so much for being here with us. Could you please tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got involved with blockchain and the crypto space?
Absolutely. Well, we only got half an hour, right? So I'll make it short. I'll make it brief. First of all, thanks for having me. I'm really excited to be here. And I actually should say thanks for having us, because there's no single one person or single one entity within DigiByte. We are DigiByte. So we tend to talk in the plural. Having said that, I sort of, ever since 1994, I've been working in the forefront of technology when I started working for AT&T in America, the Bell Laboratories. And it sort of pushed me to an area that new innovations came out and they were not quite sure what to do with it. So it was sort of a liaison between the commerce on one side and R&D and the other. And that taught me a very valuable and important lesson, namely, technology in itself isn't necessarily important, but what you can do with it is important. So I tend to profile myself as someone, technology, there's so many smart people around the world, Vitalik Buterin, Satoshi Nakamoto, Jerry Tate, they make technology work. I just like to make it work and do something with it.
So could you tell us a brief introduction to DigiByte for people who might not be familiar?
Wow. You don't hear that too often. No, just kidding. Luckily, DigiByte is becoming more and more popular and more well known. Jerry Tate, the founder of DigiByte, developed DigiByte in 2013, and in January 2014, he launched the blockchain. And what blockchain, the DigiByte blockchain sets apart from the rest, that it's fast, it's secure, it's scalable, and it's forward-thinking. And with that said, it's definitely a new player on the block, and an alternative, if you like, that's faster and cheaper than the Bitcoin, which still has a lot of drawbacks in speed, for instance. Also, it's a fully decentralized blockchain. We are permissionless. And we're also thriving by a large community. So the blockchain of DigiByte is, in one word, a fully decentralized, permissionless blockchain.
Can you tell us some of the main applications of DigiByte?
Yes, but they're more or less four pillars, if you like. The first one is obviously the payments, and ultimately, in my view, DigiByte is the ultimate merchant coin, which is traded on a lot of exchanges. Secondly, we see proof of authenticity as the second pillar we provide. VID, for instance, provides authentication of documents and signatures. The third pillar is what we call authentication. Let's say logging in with IDs like Digi-ID. And the fourth pillar we have is tokenization, for which we use DigiAssets. So those four pillars make what we now call the DigiByte blockchain.
Now, could you share with us some of the advantages or benefits to the DigiByte currency over other coins?
Absolutely. If I had to make a quick summation, I would say speed, transactions per second. We will be ramping up to 2,000 transactions per second later this year. By comparison, that's more or less what Visa has at the moment. So we're in good company. Secondly, the scalability is quite good. The fees are extremely low. It's 80 cents for transactions on average. And the security is extremely high, and that's predominantly due because of the fact that DigiByte has 5 algorithms, which gives us additional security, but it also makes sure that miners, no individual miner, could actually easily ascertain a certain voting block or influence.
Now, you mentioned community there. Could you speak a little bit to the community and the importance of the community for DigiByte?
We live by the community and we live for the community. And there wouldn't be a DigiByte without a community. And we have an army of volunteers, all dedicated, all contributing, all participating, and all being vocal of what a decentralization is and what the DigiByte blockchain should be. And in a way, if we didn't have the community, I don't think there could be a DigiByte, there should be a DigiByte, and there wouldn't be a DigiByte. So without it, we are actually peeled away. All the layers of the onions are peeled away, and there's nothing left. I mean, it's our bread and butter. It's who we are. It's what defines us, if you like, the DigiByte community.
All right. So moving on a little bit, could you talk a little bit about Digi-ID and why that's important for the company?
Digi-ID, for those who are not too familiar with it, it's a tool that helps you avoiding using passwords. So your passwords are secure, they're safe, you can't misplace them, they can't be stolen, and only you can log in to your favorite websites, for instance. And it's an easy and free to use tool. You can use it on your mobile, you can use it on your desktop, and it's easy to integrate in all sorts of applications. So for us, it's also an important issue because it protects you, the user, and it also gives you, the user, a certain degree of anonymity. So accessing services still honoring KYC, but still being able to be anonymous is a great way in using Digi-ID. So for us, it's a perfect addition and a perfect feature of what the blockchain is and what it can provide us.
Now, can you tell us about DigiAssets and how it leverages aspects of the decentralized blockchain?
Yes. Well, DigiAssets, it's in a way a tool for tokenization. And tokenization is becoming more and more important. I feel we're sort of at the brink of further tokenization in the world. And the DigiAssets give you, the user, the consumer, to trade real life assets off the blockchain via DigiAssets. So it empowers and it cuts away intermediates. So if you have a certain physical attribute you want to trade via the blockchain, you can do so via DigiAssets, and you would not be no longer having to use or having to rely on an intermediate. It's a peer-to-peer system. And whether it's a house, or whether it's something you want to pass over to someone else, to the next generation, a boat or a car or whatever, anything and everything can be added to DigiAssets. So it empowers you, the user, to transfer assets off the blockchain.
Now, we've talked a bit about community and obviously the scale of what you're trying to do. So in that, can you speak to some of the partnerships that you've had to form in order to continue on with the project?
Yes, we do have sponsors already who have thought out to help us, and they are listed on our website. And one of the ones that came on first was Softtech. They are a software provider, software developer, but we also have Sequire or Sequire. I'm not quite sure how to pronounce the name, in all honesty, because they recently changed names from WordBase. And we got AntemID. So we've got quite a fair bit of partnerships we already have. But one of the things we're currently working on, I would like to mention, and one of them, a few that sort of come to mind. Buoyancy is a big exchange about to launch in the Middle East. And they want to bring crypto and blockchain technology throughout the Middle East. And they're doing that in a really novel way. And they've asked us to help them facilitate that. And also the DigiByte coin is obviously well featured on that exchange when it launches. Secondly is EasyPay. They are also from the Middle East, and they are focusing on decentralization and tokenization throughout the Gulf area. So that's also an exciting project we want to be associated with. And thirdly, the one I have to mention is EGW Capital. And they also want to provide tokenization of assets or sharing along in IPOs, for instance, in India. But apart from the tokenization aspect, there's something really nice they have in mind, and that's actually setting up DigiByte shops throughout India. And can you imagine that it's almost like an Apple store? You walk into the DigiByte store and someone can help you, what are tokens, what are coins, how does a wallet work, how can I transfer this, how can I work with DigiAssets? And that's, in a way, something that I can really get passionate about, because that strikes at what empowerment is and financial literacy is. And it, in a way, it reminds me a bit of the wave when I started working for AT&T. We had in the 90s, when a lot of developing countries, they skipped having landlines. People went to mobile phones straight away. And in this case, in India, a lot of people not necessarily have bank accounts. So if we can provide financial literacy and independence via the blockchain, via DigiByte, that would be something amazing and something awesome. So that's definitely a project I'm really excited about.
Yeah, I'm sure there's a lot of communities that could use that kind of education and outreach.
Correct. Absolutely. Yeah.
Now, as you know, XRP has one of the fastest blockchain networks in the industry. So how would you compare DGB networks to XRP?
Yes. Well, in a way, we're not necessarily want to compare ourselves with, we're better at this, or they're really bad. We all work in the blockchain space, and at the moment, I think, we shouldn't stand on individuality too much, but we still have this common goal of empowering the people and bringing the blockchain to the masses, if you like. So we're not necessarily in a pissing contest with other blockchains, pardon the expression, but there are obviously differences between XRP and DGB. The pre-mining, for instance, DigiByte has never done any pre-mining. Ripple XRP has. So DigiByte does not own any coins. We have no stake in that sense in the game. Secondly, I think decentralization-wise, there's a bit of a difference. Decentralization has been at the core of DigiByte from day one, and and XRP is moving towards decentralization, which is an excellent move, but that's still more or less in process. And I think thirdly, transparency is still for us very important. For instance, regarding the Genesis block for DigiByte, XRP has not disclosed anything about the Genesis blocks. So there are definitely a few differences, if you like. And as I mentioned in the beginning, the 4 pillars that DigiByte has, that is also a little bit more elaborate than XRP has at the moment. But again, we're not here to bash on fellow projects. No, on the contrary, it's, in my view, it is all united we stand, divided we fall. So I'm not insulted with being compared to other projects whatsoever.
So we may have touched on this a little bit thus far, but could you talk to us a bit about what you see as the future of the DigiByte Foundation?
There are definitely a couple of things that the DigiByte Foundation finds really important, and that's outreach, that's education, and that's empowerment. That said, I also, I don't know whether it's the Dutch in me or not, but I also have this vision or this idea of this hope that we can be like a thought leader in the community, what decentralization is and what it should be about, and the larger ramifications of decentralization throughout society. And that's much more than just looking at the blockchain. So in a way, I would like to see DigiByte in a way as a role model, as how decentralized communities, and with DigiByte we're having more than 1 million people in our community spread all over the world, from all walks of life, from all different means and asset classes, and from all sorts of levels. Yet somehow we gel it together, and somehow we make that work. And if you look at how volatile and how fragile we are at the moment in today's global environment, look at the political level, or the social level, or economic level, or human rights level. It's divisions and oppositions all over. Yet somehow at the DigiByte community and a lot of other communities within the blockchain, we're able to look beyond that. And so ideally, I would like to see the DigiByte Foundation also in a way become a role model for future models for our society. I know it might be a bit lofty, but part of me would like that idea.
Now, you were talking a bit about standing united together. So are there any blockchain projects that you like or that excite you?
Well, of course, Bitcoin. I mean, love it and hate it. But Bitcoin is obviously, we all got infected by this bug via Bitcoin, and no one got into the crypto or the blockchain space via Ripple. It's by means of Bitcoin in a way. It's our genesis. So obviously the excitement is definitely there, and the enigma of Satoshi Nakamoto. And I honestly hope we will never ever find out who he, she, or they are. That is part of the attraction, part of the allure. I really hope we will never find out. Additionally, I find Litecoin also a very nice project, like us, decentralized. We speak with the guys and girls, obviously, of Litecoin. So Bitcoin and Litecoin are definitely 2 projects I feel a certain kindred spirit with. But at the end of the day, am I afraid of competition? No. People judge us on what we deliver, and each and everyone can make his or her decision whether DigiByte is part of that or not.
Now, I want to shift a little bit here to talk about Sologenic. Now, Sologenic is merging financial markets with crypto markets to facilitate the mass adoption of cryptocurrency. So what do you think of Sologenic's ecosystem?
Well, the idea behind Sologenic is tokenization, real life assets, bringing on the blockchain, and empower people in doing that peer-to-peer. All I can say is, thumbs up, fantastic. I mean, that's definitely something I applaud. And again, there is something in my view that united we stand, and we can help and facilitate each other in that, in creating that awareness and developing that market. Ultimately, who chooses what, that's everyone else's choice. So mass adaptation for cryptocurrency is also, you know, a core a spear point of Sologenic. Again, that's fantastic. I really applaud and respect that. Now, removing the barriers, you know, again, that's perfect. That also fits definitely in the DNA of DigiByte, tokenization of assets. So again, thumbs up for your vision and for your take on the market and for what you feel is important and how you go about it. So definitely kudos to that.
Okay. Now we want to try something a little bit fun now and play a game of word association. So I'm going to just say a word to you or a couple of words, and I want you to respond with the first thing that comes to your mind. So maybe maximum 5 words. So Ethereum.
Smart contracts, the right thing at the right time.
Bitcoin.
Big Bang.
Craig Wright.
Who? Next.
Binance.
Powerhouse. I am possible.
All right, Sologenic.
Thumbs up.
And last one, December 2017.
Preview. And FOMO.
All right. Well, that's wrapping up our time here. But before we go, could you please tell us where people can go to find more about DigiByte? Any social media, web addresses you'd like to share?
Well, we're very, very vocal on Twitter. The DigiByte Foundation is on Twitter, and obviously also the official Twitter of DigiByte. Also, there are a few Telegram groups you can follow. Just, you know, punch in DigiByte and a couple of groups come up for either support or information, or there's even a group for people who look at, you know, what would the DigiByte prize do. So there are lots of groups on Telegram. We obviously, the DigiByte Foundation.io has the website. The DigiByte.io website has heaps of information, and the DigiByte.io website also has a list of all the social media handles and all the places and go-to areas for your information. So that will be a good point of contact.
Well, thank you so much, Hans Koning. Really appreciate you talking with us today, and hopefully we'll be able to talk to you again as DigiByte continues to grow and succeed. CoinField is a fully regulated European-based cryptocurrency exchange operating in 193 countries. CoinField offers a wide range of cryptocurrency pairs, allowing you to trade over 20 cryptos from the get-go. Learn more today. Go to www.coinfield.com. Thanks again to Hans for that amazing interview. And now for our final segment, which I think is going to be a little bit of fun. You've heard of the Mythbusters. Well, today, Bogdan and I are going to be the Crypto Busters. So, if you've been wondering about those crypto myths that you've been hearing, we're going to give you the answers right now. Crypto is only used for crime and illegal activity on the dark web.
It's partially used for illicit activities, just like any other form of payment that can be used, like such as, you know, cash money. I don't know. I haven't bought drugs myself using Bitcoin. People can use, you know, all forms of payment to do that.
Crypto isn't regulated.
Well, the thing is that crypto is regulated to a certain degree somewhere in the world, in few jurisdictions that are more crypto-friendly right now. The biggest issue is that the regulators trying to take the existing set of laws and rules and regulations that are applied to financial services firms and businesses, and they are trying to just take that and apply it directly to the cryptocurrency space. I don't think that's going to work out.
Crypto is completely anonymous.
Some cryptos are more anonymous than others. The thing is that if you buy your Bitcoin from a centralized exchange or any place where you're required to provide your full name, date of birth, ID card, and things like that, well then your personal information is contained somewhere in some database, so it cannot be completely anonymous.
If you can't spend it, there's no reason to save it. Roger Ver.
What Roger Ver's point is that Bitcoin is not as fast as other cryptocurrencies. The transaction fees are quite high, relatively speaking. And so he thinks that his Bitcoin Cash system can provide a better solution for these kinds of issues. We'll see. It might be. As of right now, I don't think it's really used much.
Cryptocurrency holders are always getting hacked.
What these cases or these stories have been referring to is the centralized exchanges and centralized databases being hacked that contain user-sensitive data. In order to hack the Bitcoin blockchain, you really need to hack into about, 12,000 different computers all around the world, spread in all different geographical areas where you don't know where they are located. And you have to basically destroy them all or hack them all at the same time, and do that in a matter of 10 minutes time.
So, I hope that clears up some of those crypto myths for you. But if you still have any questions, don't worry. We're going to bust some more crypto myths in the future. If you liked the video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon to make sure you never miss an episode. And you can go check out our Twitter page to make sure that you keep up to date on everything that's going on at Sologenic. See you next time.